Good evening. I am Stephanie Marson, a member of the Board of Directors for Stanislaus Humanists. Tonight I want to talk about Stanislaus Humanists' current social media strategy, specifically our Facebook strategy. I want to talk about what other groups and pages do on Facebook, and I also want to give some thoughts on how we can improve our Facebook strategy, possibilities for 3 of our pages, and even the possibility of a social media manager position. So as you know, Stanislaus Humanists is nearly a year old. We're about ready to celebrate our birthday. Yay! And in this time, our Facebook page has grown to just under 300 people. But our live events have a relatively small number of attendees. So I'm hoping that maybe tweaking our strategy a little will bring us some added interaction on our pages as well as at our live events. So our current Facebook presence / strategy doesn't exist. We actually don't have anything planned. What we do have are event hosts that create notifications and update, those notifications in the form of like events. The majority of non-event interaction is created by page members, which may or may not be board members. And those interactions are typically relevant articles, videos, and other items of interest. In September, we had 19 posts that were event specific. They were the invitation type posts. And then we had 53 user-generated posts, articles and videos like I talked about earlier. Some of those posts were actually unofficial, quote-unquote, event invites, such as, hey, I'm going rafting this weekend, anybody care to join me? Those type of things. We also have a number of subpages for events and or specialized discussions. So I've looked into a little bit about what other groups do. It seems that many groups have planned content that they post on some sort of regular schedule. Most of them have typically no more than 2 or 3 posts daily. Some skip days. California Clean Money, for instance, they posted twice on the September 30th, nothing on October 1st, once on the 2nd, twice on the 3rd and 4th, and nothing on the 5th or 6th. So they kind of, have a little bit of an ebb and flow. IKEA Hacker, which is great by the way, is much more active. 4 posts on October 1st, 5 on the 2nd, 2 on the 3rd, and then nothing until the 6th. Someone like Sam Harris, he is more sporadic in his posts. He really only posts when he's written something new, received a review, or when he's doing a live appearance. So most of these other groups also post, impromptu content as needed, sort of. So after taking a look at how we use Facebook and what we're doing on Facebook, I think maybe we should try doing some planned content at like regularly scheduled intervals. These things can be, managed by the group, and we may want to base those on upcoming events that we're having, upcoming holidays, and other campaigns, that we see fit. Of course, impromptu content is still welcome and really needed by active group members, by our general membership. Of course, we want to continue to encourage that. So some specific ideas that I'm thinking, these are some possible social media strategies for 3 of our pages. These suggestions, they're not intended to replace current page activity. They're designed to supplement it. Campaign ideas are provided for each page that I'm going to list here, along with implementation suggestions. So for our main page, for example, Stanislaus Humanists, I was thinking that we could do like an event calendar as a weekly post, just highlighting the upcoming week. We could link to each event's RSVP page. So like if it's a week that happens to have Music Mayhem, that would include a link to the Music Mayhem RSVP page. And we should run this weekly thing probably Monday through Sunday. And then that way people can see what's coming up for the weekend instead of breaking the weekend in half. I think it just makes a little bit more sense to do a Monday through Sunday approach. Keeping it at the top of the page is important, so it could be a pinned post. Another thing that we might want to consider doing on main page is some sort of daily affirmation meme or photo with word type approach, like a word of encouragement that focuses on humanist principles, something positive and uplifting, and of course humanist centered. This could be quotes from prominent humanists, atheists, or appropriate historical figures. And we have a newly formed meditation group. Maybe this is something that could be generated from that group. Another idea that I had for the main page would be contests. The goal here should be to keep it fun, light, and easy, and something, we want to have this regularly scheduled, like monthly, bi-monthly, or even quarterly would work. We should plan this out and choose our topics at the beginning of the year, and we could vary these contests. 1 month could be a photo contest, the next month could be a funny story. We could do a particular genre of poetry on another month, or essays. Essays don't sound too fun, but you know what I'm saying. We could make this different all the time. So we would have like a basic submission period, and then we could do voting through the Facebook poll feature. And, we would offer prizes for this, just inexpensive prizes, maybe a Stanislaus Humanist t-shirt, or gift certificates for the places where we have our events, like Panera and Queen Bean. So, those are just a few ideas for main page. For Pastafarians Privy, which is our, private page where we can discuss stuff that we just don't want to have on our public-facing pages. We might offend family members or whatever, so we kind of want to keep this stuff private. That's where we're putting it now. So for this, we could do maybe a weekly or monthly topic of how to cope with this situation or that situation. Make those things pertinent to maybe what's going on in the group, or just kind of work through a particular approach, in a kind of a systematic way. We could obviously do impromptu posts if somebody has an immediate need. We would want to address that, and then maybe add articles and links that would help that person deal with, whatever situation they're going through. So these would be, a variety of memes, videos, articles, that type of situation. And then we have one of our events actually has its own page, and that is the Sirens and Satyrs of Sharp. So for that page, I'm thinking, we could do like a weekly or monthly craft idea. We want to keep it beginner, intermediate level, and maybe even child-friendly projects as a way to encourage, kind of a family interactive time and that kind of thing. Again, these can be pre-planned with scheduled release dates, seasonal or holiday themed, and these would probably be links to how-to articles or videos. So I had mentioned earlier the possibility of a social media manager position, because I'm sure you're thinking, that's a lot of extra work to do all these extra posts. But if we created this social media manager position, it could be like the treasurer position. It doesn't need to be filled by a board of director member. But of course the bylaws would need to be amended to create and define the position. So this person, I'm thinking, would work with the event hosts and the board to create appropriate campaign strategies. This person, would report to the board of directors on upcoming campaigns, and we really would need to decide how much autonomy this person would have. So we would also need to figure out which campaigns need board approval, if any of them do. Certainly campaigns that would have expenses, like the contests, would need to have approval for those expenditures. And then instances where approved policies need to be followed, like our elections, for the board elections and the officer elections, we would definitely want approval on those types of campaigns. So, as I stated earlier, I'm hoping this presentation will open up a discussion about improving our, current strategy. And maybe a trial period would be helpful for us to see how this would actually work, how it would play out before we make any official decisions. So thank you for taking the opportunity to let me share this with you, and I appreciate it.